All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, all right, all right. Yay. What's going on this morning? June 21st, 2026. Happy Father's Day out there to all the fathers out in the village, out in the town, out in the square, in this planet life, team humanity one time. Happy Father's Day. Also, we know it is also Juneteenth, right? It's Juneteenth weekend. We know the 19th passed, but it's I know you might get some folks in the background who get a little bit like this. But what we also do is give a shout out, of course, because we're on Juneteenth weekend, to the dark, brown, and tan skin tone fathers out there as well. Since we like doing the open, we'll use this sound. It's probably a little bit more apropos. Also, it's a triple whammy this weekend, family, right? It's the first day of summer, huh? You know, there's a famous rock song that says school's out for summer. Well, this is the first day. Certain parts of the world, school is out. I'd hope at this point, or here in the nation, some are earlier, some are later. So we hope everybody is beginning to enjoy summer. It's getting warmer. Let's be safe in the pools. Let's be safe on the hiking trails, right? Get out and touch nature, family, right? We got no excuses now, unless it's some thunderstorms, some tornadoes somewhere, right? We ain't got no excuses, man. Let's get out here and love life. Love life, man. Again, that's why we stand up for workers' rights before we get into some things with the father, right? 'Cause we want to talk about it. We ain't going to keep you long, but we're going to talk about it. And then we're going to go about our day so the folks can enjoy their church services. And we hope that some powerful messages spoken today. We're going to try to start it off with this one, and we hope the rest of them continue on, right? Again, like mothers, fathers need encouragement and admonition just the same. This masculine mess over here, brothers and sisters, does not fly with your brother. Okay. We think that mess is from the pit of hell. If I could speak as a Christian for a moment, right? We try to speak to all, right? We try to follow that biblical concept because we believe it's a real thing, to be all to some. I know some Christians get in their bag and they don't believe all that and all that kind of thing. Again, I think if the Apostle Paul was saying it, it might mean something. So we try to follow it as much as we can. Let me just shut off the sound here, and then we'll get back into the open and we'll go on. Welcome in, family, us a different view family who believe in, who love after, who hunger and thirst. Man, we hunger and thirst for this. I don't care about none of this mess of what some government is doing, what somebody else's neighbor is doing. I don't got time to peer in the window that much. Okay. Other than for piece of my own house and stuff like that. So you kind of watch folks. Let Massa do all that mess. Right. I'm just saying what it is, family. Let them be the nosy body. We got stuff to do. Right. Hunger and thirst, search and seek. Excuse me. Search and seek to find that which is a different view. Family, welcome in. We are going to start off a lot of verses, right? But we're going to break it down today because, again, and we'll have our comments, right? Again, last time we had spoken dealing with a father, and that's what we're going to start off, right? With his daughters going cross country, trying to come back home to his home state of Oklahoma and stopping off in a quick trip. He took his two daughters to the women's bathroom after, again, his girls. See, I don't know about some fathers out there. For some of y'all, maybe you take your two girls into the men's bathroom. Okay. This father decided to take them into the women's bathroom. This was not a peep show, peekaboo kind of mess. The brother made sure nobody was in the room first, right? He showed respect to women, right? We all know these scenarios happen. Okay. So see, again, we lead off with talking about verses. The seed of the scornful, which is spoken of in Psalms 1, right? Again, we know that the word script is in the word scripture. The base of the word scripture means a script, family, just like a play. This is something that's It's played out for us. I know we have problems with that. Okay. But these are the rules that are left. That we can pick and choose and do whichever ones we want to, but these rules are here, right? For us to use so that we can, again, choose life so that you and those after you can live. Huh? Dig that. At the end of the day, we have the choice to choose opposite, but it may not go so well, okay? And in this is not to diss anybody. We're just saying what it is. And in this story specifically with his brother Tyler from Oklahoma, he stops off in this quick trip and some old shrivelly white dude. I'm glad I'm not on TikTok. We're just doing this. We're just doing this off the rip, man. This way I don't have to be cool with what language I use and all this kind of. Some old so-called, we understand white and black were distinctions made over here on the, we know back in the day, black was used, and again, normally the dark brown folks, right? It's not full on black. Even our Congo brothers, I believe in Sudan, there's some dark brothers and sisters, but it's not full on black. It's dark brown. Okay. Just saying what it is. It looks close to it. And to some of these weirdo explorers, they probably just swept it under the rug as black, but it was dark brown. This so-called older white man, right? And don't get me wrong, his wife had issues and stuff like that. See, what I don't understand is certain troublemakers, brothers and sisters, is what is said. There's been songs put out from multiple different people talking about those who keep up trouble, different beliefs. We'll call him the mischief maker. Okay. Right. That's the category these folks fall into. They're going to call the cops on you when it's unnecessary. They're going to cause the trouble. They just don't want you around, and they're going to cause trouble for you, family. Again, the Bible tells you, but again, the script tells you blessed are the peacemakers. Right. OK, so at the end of the day, right, he calls the police on this brother with his two daughters. Again, just making sure that they are safe. They handle the bathroom business. They're going to wash their hands. This man is here with his wife, and I believe it in the video that you see on TikTok. It's his wife. I'm not going to play it for time's sake, but you can find it online, right? Tyler Brodsky, Brodsky, I believe is his name. And you can find the videos and stuff that's posted about it there on TikTok. And they get into an argument. What normally happens is what Master like doing. You like getting folks. Again, it's disturbance of the peace. Before Ludacris came out with it, the so-called white man was. See, I'm doing this TikTok. The so-called white man is the one who disturbs the peace. The peace of the people already living on these lands before they came here. We're not going to get into the tribal wars and all the excuses that people use. We're talking about they came here and disturbed the peace of the folks already living here. So just keep that in mind, family, right? And this father, what he does is protect his daughters, and also was venerated. I don't even know. He was found innocent in the eyes of the police when they got there because of his own account. They come back. They said he did nothing wrong because he didn't. Again, he wasn't. There was no abuse. There's no sexual abuse. There was no. You know what I'm saying? Like what normally happens between men and women. None of that was going on. All that other man had to do, and as an elder, you ought to know better. But we know in the mind of the elders, there's a lot of sickness, family. You come on. When you 60, 70, 80 years old, you just go back in time, family. Do some math. When did they grow up? Yeah, they grew up around some really messed up times, family. There's nothing but a bunch of crap going on. And you talking the 50s? You know what I'm saying? Like the 40s and some family. The 30s, the 20s, hello. Man, that's hanging Negro by the rope season out there. You know what I'm saying? You go to church and you sing Bringing in the Sheaves and Holy, Holy, Holy and Blessed is the Lord. And you go find you a black man or woman and you can look up the story of Mary Turner and find out how sick people are. That's a sister, right? I know we're talking about men right now with Father's Day. But again, as many times that women act, but many times because of the actions of massa and also of black folks and also of men in general, right? Because we are the ones leaving the home. You look at the single parent rate, we are the ones leaving the home. We can do the Adam complex. That's what we call it over here on this podcast, family. It's the Adam complex. That's that woman you gave me, Lord. Not my fault. It's not my fault I'm doing these things. It's the woman you gave me. Responsibility. If we want to put up a list of things that's necessary, responsibility. This is for me like anybody. And we're just speaking from where I've seen it, family. That's it. Okay, you want to add on, so be it. We got comments for that. Let's be respectful in the comments. Because we don't need to be bashing each other. We do it enough. You see it on TikTok. You see it everywhere, man. We do it enough. That's part of the plan in the game. Keep us arguing and never growing together. But I digress. You cause and create scenarios where pain occurs and then you stay in the pain. See, if you don't unlearn anything, you just stay in the pain, constantly talking about that, you know what, ain't nothing. She always blah, 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 blah. And then I was watching a person in a home improvement store, right? And of course, his wife hit him in the leg. You know, they're older couple. So we know that the fights have been going on, right? It's a hard shell there. A hard shit. You know, when Christ talk about, man, because of the hardness of men's hearts, people's hearts, excuse me, there is divorce and all that kind of thing. Man, you see it clear as day. You can see it. It's not even, this is something that could affect me like anybody, brothers and sisters. So that's where I speak from. Well, we're not talking down to anybody. So just let that defense go. And at the end of the day, man, you know, she hit him with the cart. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because again, some things are probably broke down. She probably ain't looking out for his legs anyway. And he like, this woman driver, like woman driver. When you go look up and you see the amount of fatal accidents and stuff, I want y'all to look up and find out, and you tell me which gender leads. Simple Google search. Look, which one leads from the man studying us? Which gender you think leads? Drop it in the comments. I've already done it, so I know which one it is. Maybe it's not the woman. Anyway, Ephesians 6. Let's do this. Let's do this thing. Go on about our day. I was listening to a famous message. And it's a famous message from a very famous preacher. He's passed on at this point, so I'm going to keep my critique very careful and close to the vest because he's not here to defend himself. Okay, again, mercy is something that we believe here on this podcast, but at the same time, there's things that got to be addressed because it's stuff that's been left in the village, and there's not enough people to speak up on the other side of it, and it's wrong. It's wrong to leave it this way. We're not saying that there shouldn't be correction with our children. We're not saying men shouldn't do it. We just finished talking about us leaving the home, but there's a heart and an attitude by which we do it, and if we do not, all we continue is division, destruction, and death. That's how we say it on this podcast. That's it. If we will not listen to our spouses, right? Girlfriends, fiancés, we're just saying it from this standpoint, right? Matter of fact, we'll even add in homosexuality here because I'm not shying away from anything. Partners, then again, your wife is your partner, brother. Just to put that out there. Your wife is your partner. We can do this head of the household thing. Again, this is some Christian stuff that we put here unbalanced. You can continue down that road about who is the head of the household if you have no understanding that person is your partner. We're talking about documented in Genesis that we like playing Bible wars over. It's clear. The man cannot do it alone. You need help. Last I checked, when you own a business, and a family is a business. So as much as there's love and, you know, we ain't trying to fleece down each other for money like Massa do. At the end of the day, family, that thing a business. From how you handle the car, making sure gas in the car for everybody to get to work and get to school and do activities. And again, we need to keep these things. You only have 24 hours in the day. We have overstressed ourselves following after Massa. The desires of our heart that are spoken of in the scriptures, family. Okay. We still have to show temperance and balance with it. Maybe we'll get into the word temperance on the back end. Not today. Because temperance is necessary, family. And you can see in the base of the word, there's temper. Again, the Bible tells you be angry and sin not. There's a certain way by which we handle things, family. That's what temperance is dealing with. But we'll get into the actual definition so I can say it over the air. You know what I mean? Children, obey your parents in the Lord. This is Ephesians 6:1, right? So we get it. We don't run this one in the ground. For this is right. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise. That's verse 2. 3, that it may be well with thee and you live long on the earth. Boom. Fathers and mothers have something to do with children obeying their parents. Okay. We have to be no different than to talk about the preacher in the New Testament, where you have to be a certain way. Parents have to be a certain way in order for their kids to obey someone. This is why we get into this idea of submission. You are yielding yourself to someone, family. But again, whoever you're yielding to has to be worth the submission. No. Don't you let that division hit your mind where, no, see, they got to submit to me anyway. No, I don't. This is how we fall prey in this government. The Bible constantly keeps talking about kings and queens from the Old Testament to the New Testament. These are people that are supposed to be upright and godly. Don't you tell me anybody in this government upright and godly. No, they're not. No, they're not. They use the name of God as a facade to keep you docile. Oh, yeah, they do that. That's Mass's MO. Or, excuse me, since we're talking like, from a biblical standpoint this morning, that's the devil's MO. But again, we've already said in this podcast, not only the one under the ground, devil mean adversary, family. Those adversarial to life. That's how they talk. They talk with a forked tongue. That's why your native brothers say it that way. Verse 4 is where people kind of skip over. Fathers provoke. Now, if fathers is there, mothers is there too. Because the two verses before just talked about honor thy father and thy mother. So we ain't going to skip it on verse 4. Fathers and mothers, provoke not your children to wrath. So that means you can do that. And that's what you're seeing a lot of parents doing. That's what they're doing. These are things we've talked about before, but again, it's about bringing up remembrance. We haven't said it in a while. Repetition is necessary for learning. But bring them up in the nurture. Okay, so now we're specifically speaking of fathers. Let's back into this since because this masculine mess is telling you that it's, or again, Mass's definition of masculinity will tell you that man ain't got nothing to do with nurturing and loving and then biblically nurture. Y'all look up the word nurture. Men do it the same way women do it. I don't know where we got this definition where it's separate between the two. Yeah, the two do it different, but it's still the same thing. Nurture. You got them daughters out here. They need to see love, man. They ain't going to know how to love themselves or love the right person they choose in their life, whether hetero or homosexual. Brothers, this is a reality in the village. OK, this is a reality in the neighborhood. All right. So it's maybe we shouldn't shy away from it as much. But right at the end of the day, they're not going to know if you don't teach them, if you don't show them. This gets into this rod of correction thing. Right. So let's skip real quick. I was going to get into, I've been gnawing at talking about, I had heard this in this message from this preacher about and it blew my mind, man. I didn't even put the two and two together. That's why it's important to continuously study the whole of the script, right? But at the end of the day, you get down to the end of this chapter or the middle of the chapter, and it's talking about the armor of God. Powerful. We're going to get into it down the road, right? Maybe it'll be the next episode. Rod of correction. This is where we like whooping our kids. Cat Williams had already joked about it. We like whooping our kids. But brothers and sisters, we missed it. Yeah, we missed it. You ain't got to whoop your babies all the time for you to give them the rod of correction. So, couple of verses. Proverbs 22:15, foolishness is bound in the heart of a child. Now, before you go that far in your mind, thinking that it's just your 6 to 18, 21-year-old, right? Just know that grown folk, we talking past that age, act like kids. Matter of fact, we have not dealt with certain things in our kiddom, and we're acting like kids now, where there's a lot of foolishness bound there. So again, temperance, family, when we speak on this subject, and you can hear it in people's mouth, they have no temperance when it comes to certain things. Zero recognition of what's going on, knowing that the child learned much of that mess from them. And it's time we be honest. It is the goodness of God that causes people to repent. Now, if that's on the spiritual level, what do you think about in the physical? When you show some level of humility, mothers and fathers, it helps the child. It doesn't hurt him. Nobody gonna walk on you because you have an honest conversation with them one night about how you used to be a party animal. They're getting to that age, they're getting pulled to do that. You warn them about what's going on out there. Now, It's their choice. This is the gamble here when you have kids, family. This is why this mess Masick has with house, playing house and all that. That's cute. Okay? But then there's a gravity to this thing on the other side. And your brother's here to let you know about it. Maybe this will help some people before they get involved in it, right? Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction. Say the rod. Huh? Yeah, touch your neighbor one time, say the rod. Look, family, when you look at the word rod, right? Yeah, of course, the initial, we're doing the etymology. You can look on it, Etym Online. The first word deals with a rod, like twigs, okay? So the switch, we all know about grandmama and them, right? In that switch, or mama in them in that switch, right? We learned it. Then again, when grandmama, great grandmama on that plantation getting whooped by massa, the only way you know how to comply is through whipping. There's no speaking. There's no teaching. There's no correction. We're going to get there. Give me 1 second. There's just that rod. Not no figurative one, a real physical one, leaving serious marks on the body, scars. Yeah, okay, let's go on, KJ. Then you get down into, again, the proto-old words, and this is where it gets fun. You go a little bit further down in the definition here, of course, Middle English, a stick of wood, especially a straight cutting from a woody plant, stripped of twigs, having a particular purpose. Okay. Walking stick, wand of office they have here, instrument of punishment. All right. Especially black folks. We know about that. We know about that. The belt, the switch, all that, right? From Old English, RODD, a rod or pole, which is probably cognate with Old Norse. Now we're starting to go back a little bit deeper, right? Ruda, R-U-D-D-A, a club. From Proto-Germanic, we like the Proto-Germanic, right? Over here, especially when talking about that word war, okay? R-U-D-D, stick or club from, I don't know what now, as far as etymologically speaking, I don't know what P-I-E is. Somebody drop in the comments there, P-I-E, when they put it in capital letters, what that means. R-U-D-H, check this definition, to clear land. Now it means something a little bit different, family. This ain't you just whipping your babies, just to be whipping your babies because they either was crying excessively and all this other kind of stuff, family. Again, much of this is in the mind. These actions that start, much like when we do training with our animals. I know people get mad whenever your brother does this, but family, the correlations is too clear to see it. There's a correlation. And yeah, it goes deeper because they're humans. You get to touch them in the soul area, family, right? Clear land. Okay. Let's see. Anything else here? Just more of the same, just a rod, right? Okay. That's a rod, family. All right. Now correction. Okay. Correction in Hebrew. Let's see. Chastisement. That's correct. Yeah. Correction, reproof. Everybody likes that. The reproof is another one. We go, when it comes to judgment, we go too hard, family. Okay. Correction. Authority to correct. Now we're saying correction, but what's the base of the word correction? Correct. Okay. So now get over into correct. To set someone. Now, someone is this is back in the middle 14th century. Set someone right. Now take the someone out. To set right. By punishing for a fault or error, don't you know massa needs correction, brothers and sisters? I digress. To discipline. We're not going to look up the word discipline, although the word of the discipline is disciple. Teaching. Student. To student someone. We don't have enough teachers to create students. And you got the teachers still blaming the students for not being students. It's a two-way street. This is the same problem that I could have in my marriage, like in anybody's marriage. You got to listen to each other. It's teamwork. See, let go of that ownership mess. You ain't, I ain't no head of nothing. We are the head of that household. We've both been given directive by God to lead this household. Huh? And I know we don't want to look at it that way. I get it. We don't. We want to stay stuck right there. No, it's say right there in the scriptures, KJ. Yeah, I know. We've been failing doing this, not because the man hasn't been the head of the household, because you won't listen to your partner. Not listening to your teammate. And you're doing it alone, so you're failing. You're failing in your calling. Stuck on the head of the household part. Late 14th century, to bring in accordance with a standard or original. This is the method of life, family, when you teach your kids to not be whining and crying and acting foolish, all running through these retail stores while you're trying to shop for household goods. Because the other side of it is chaos, clearly, with them running and shouting and hollering all through the store while you're trying to shop for household goods. This is something that is a derivative both for fathers and mothers. And it's a shame when the mother has to do this on her own, just like it's a shame when the husband has to do, or the father has to do it on his own. It's more powerful and more effective when you see it as a team. And again, we say the same thing about our activity as citizens on a team in government. Telling folks to do this thing one off ain't gonna work. It's more powerful when we do it, again, in the mouth of two, said 2 or 3. 2 or 3 witnesses, family, right? Let every word be made established. I mean, this is what it is. Okay. So when you see this correction thing, that's be careful, right? Another one in Proverbs 29:15, the rod and reproof give wisdom. See again, let your brother do this here in real time, real quick before we go on. Let me just see to see if I'm not bugging. Yeah, that rod and that staff, right? Ain't that in Yeah. Psalm 23:4, right? We do this whole thing. What? The Lord is my shepherd. There's 6 verses. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters, right? Many of us know this chapter. He restoreth my soul, leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. The streets want your kids. They want them, and they want them. That's what this gang mess is all about. They want them dead. The streets want your husband, and they want to take them. They don't want. That's the whole thing behind massive breaking up the black family. Which is why I say stop tripping over the interracial stuff. If we reform in different ways, it's still black love, brothers and sisters. It's still human love. Accept it. Respect it. This ain't the time to be causing a whole bunch of mess. Black folks is with Mexicans. Black folks is with Asians. Black folks is with our Indian brothers and sisters. Black folks is with our native brothers. It don't matter. This is the rebuilding family. And of course, with your own black brothers and sisters. Okay. This is about love now, not more division. We gonna keep tripping on the Willie Lynch syndrome now? Never mind. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Look, wait. Thy rod and thy staff do what now? Don't you know correction brings comfort? Good God above, man. It brings comfort. You whooping your babies. What is it? Never mind. We'll just let it sit in your heart and your mind for a second. Rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself bringeth his mother shame. Left to himself. A child left to himself. Never mind. He that spares the rod hates his son. Fathers, provoke not thy children to wrath. When you don't give the correction necessary, when you don't clear the land, when you don't provide the pathway for them to understand finances, healthcare, sex, and in sex is relationships, okay? Hello. Well, I know we get so holy that sex. Fathers, this is what we have to teach along with the mothers. This is on a team. There ain't time to shy away from no information. You better tell them every mistake you made. You better tell them. Talk to them by the wayside is what the script tell you. Rising and sitting. So this is all day long. We got nothing else. We got nothing else to do. Sitting there working 90-hour jobs. We got nothing else to do but to talk to Hello. Talk to each other the same way too. If it works for kids, it works for adults too. We got too many people trying to you get go figure it out for yourself. Now that's not all of the story. But he that loveth him chasing him betimes. We're not gonna get into the word chasing. Y'all look at the word chasing. Chase again. Set apart. Chase is that's what the word set apart. Early. Betimes is old school word for early. You don't wait. Never mind. We gonna leave it alone because your boy can go and we got to get on. Family, thank you for walking this road with your brother today. I love y'all. God bless y'all. We will talk to you soon. Again, happy Father's Day out there to the fathers, biological and stepdads. We're done on this thing with the stepdads. Every hand is needed on deck, especially in these days and times, right? Thank y'all for walking this road with me. I love y'all. God bless y'all. And until next time, and as always, look to find the beauty in a different view.